Hi everyone, and welcome to today's Electrician edition of your Edmonton Electrician, where we bring customer service back to the trades. In today's edition of your Edmonton Electrician, we're going to be talking about GFCIs, ground fault circuit interrupters, ground fault interrupters, everything that comes with them. As always, here at Hauer Power Electrical, we are happy to answer all of our customers' questions. If you have an electrical concern or electrical topic, we want to hear about it. As your professional Edmonton electrician, our goal is to provide power through customer service. So GFCI, what we're going to talk about today is, what does GFCI mean? What does a GFCI do? Where do I need a GFCI? And are all GFCIs the same? What are the 4 types of GFCIs out there? Some people might be saying, hey, there's actually only 3. No, there's 4. We'll get into it. The difference between GFI and GFCI. How do I know if my GFCI is still good? And how do I install a GFI? Or how do I install a GFCI? What do the lights on my GFI mean? What do the lights on my GFCI mean? And what does a self-testing GFCI do? In addition to that, we'll tell you all about us here at Hauer Power Electrical. We are your Edmonton electrician. We do quality Edmonton electrical, and we are proud to provide the best customer service that you can possibly experience. So here we go. I got some old GFIs from a customer here. I'm going to show you those today. Here's 2 GFIs right here. Bring them right up in front. This is a 15 amp, 120 volt, 125 volt, depending on how you want to read it. This is your standard GFI you're going to have in your backyard, maybe out by your barbecue, on your deck. Exterior GFIs, 15 amp, 120 volt, with a weatherproof cover. This is what you're going to see. Now, these are burnt. This is an old one, burnt out, old. Get rid of it, throw it in the garbage. Same with this bad boy. Burnt out, get rid of it, throw it in the garbage. These were taken from a home that was built about 12 to 15 years ago, and customer called us saying, hey, our outside plug isn't working. Can you have a look? Absolutely, we can have a look. We provide free in-home estimates. If you send us a photo, we can give you an estimate over the phone right then and there. However, these guys here we've seen in person, the buttons are seized. You can't push them in. Now, if there's power going to the receptacle, you can actually reset it. You can test it. The test will simulate a 5 milliamp or 6 milliamp current, small current to ground. So it will kill the power to the receptacle, but not to your breaker up the line. So when you hit your test button, boom, it's going to send 5 milliamps to ground right at your receptacle. It's got a testing feature inside your receptacle. They're a great unit, a little bigger than your average plug, but they will work. On the back of these, you're going to see yellow stickers. You're going to say, oh, what's that yellow sticker for? What do I need that for? Should I take it off, throw it in garbage? What that tells us, that yellow sticker is your load side of your GFI receptacle. Now, your GFI or GFCI is going to have 2 sides to it. It's going to have your line side, that's your power coming in, and it's going to have your load side, that's your power going out. Say you have your power from your panel coming first to a GFI receptacle right here. This is in your master bathroom upstairs, or your master bathroom, or any other bathroom. You're going to have your power coming in from your breaker at your panel, regular breaker, into your line side. Now, if you don't want to have to spend the cost of another GFI receptacle in your other bathroom, or maybe you share it with an outside plug, then what you're going to do is you're going to come out of your load side and go to all the other plugs that you want to protect. That, in effect, is going to GFI protect those other receptacles at your other locations, whether it's bathroom, outside, check your local codes. But if you go bathroom, that's perfectly fine. You're going to come out of your load side, and now those other plugs can be just your standard receptacle for a lower cost, and they're still GFI protected right through this bad boy here. If you want to have all those receptacles a regular style, 15 amp, 20 amp, whatever you have, 120 volt, whatever the case may be, as long as it's all up to a Canadian electrical code standard, then you can get rid of this, you can throw this away, save that for later, and you can just have a GFI or GFCI breaker. If you have a GFI breaker in your panel, that acts the same as this in the sense that it will detect any ground fault current. That's what these do. You're going to have 3 copper wires coming to this guy. In your typical scenario, might be more, might be less. Call your local electrician to get clarity on that. But you're going to have 3 copper wires. One's going to be your ground. That's standard. Then you're going to have your neutral or identified as well as your hot. And when you have those 3 wires, your hot is going to come into one side of your GFI here, opposite your ground and your identified. Your neutral or identified is going to go right here, and your ground, as always, is going to go right there. That's typical being on the bottom. We'll get into that later. There's always some discrepancies. Now, regarding brand, make, model, manufacturer of your GFCI receptacle or your GFI receptacle, you want to go with a quality brand. As with anything in life, things fail over time, and quality outlasts the things that are not quality. These here, when we read them, what brand is this one here? This one is, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on video, so I won't. We'll go with the brands that we supply. Here we have 2. We have a 20 amp. This one's a little different. We've got a 20 amp GFCI receptacle. This one here is 20 amp, 120 volt rated. You can tell it's 20 amp right off the bat if you're a trained electrician by that T slot. You can see the hot slot is a T. Sorry, the neutral slot is a T. So your identified slot comes in the shape of a T. Now, if you have a 20 amp device and it's going to draw more than 15 amps, and manufacturer know that, it's going to come with a T slot. And it's only going to fit in these, and it will not fit in a 15 amp. I'll show you 15 amp just a second here. Here's an unboxing of a please don't sue me, Legrand. You got a great product here at Legrand. This is what we provide. It's quality material. We put it in all of our installations. Unbox it here. This is a 15 amp GFI right here. 15 amp, 120 volt GFI or GFCI. Same thing as those other ones. The difference here is that these other ones are a little older and this one's a little newer. You can tell the difference. Old, new. Other than the coloration, can't tell too much right off the hop. This one here, it's got a different button style, but they're all going to have the same sort of 2-style button. They're all going to have a test and a reset. Here we got test on the bottom. So if power was coming to this receptacle, which obviously it's not right now, I'm holding it in my hand. If power was coming here, we'd hit test, and that would send a 5 or 6 milliamp current to ground, and it would shut off this GFI, it would shut off this GFCI, and you wouldn't have any power coming to the front outlets. Now, to fix that problem, you're going to hit reset, and then you would have a solid, steady light right here telling you that this GFI is working, or this GFCI is working. Now you hear me say GFI, GFCI. What's the difference? Well, as your Edmonton electrician, we're happy to tell you that the difference between GFCI and GFI is simply the wording. It's just an acronym. GFI is ground fault interrupter. GFCI is ground fault circuit interrupter. Identical, virtually identical. They're the same thing. They have no difference. GFI, GFCI, it's just how lazy you want to be with your words or how descriptive. As with them all, they're going to have this feature, 5 milliamps to ground. This brand, this model, if I'm not mistaken, which I may be mistaken, no, this one's a self-testing. So that means that every certain X amount of time, whether it's 10 seconds, 10 milliseconds, however they have it wired up, the receptacle itself is going to self-test. It saves you from having to test this monthly, because with your ground fault circuit interrupter, your GFCI, you're going to want to test it monthly. Same with your smoke alarms, same with other things in your home. If you say, hey, I don't have time to test all this junk monthly, well, hey, give us a call. We're your professional Edmonton electrician.